So allow me to say it's a pleasure, Venkat, being on this call with you. First off, allow me to say thank you for taking the time. Thanks for making this investment in making others greater as well, right? In fact, it's our objective, it's our intent that other leaders get to benefit from your extensive experience and your perspectives as well.
Thank you so much, Venkat.
Pleasure.
I was looking forward to the discussion.
Definitely, definitely. In fact, I mean, you have been with OLAM for over 2 decades now, Venkat, right? And you must have gone ahead and risen through the ranks, over these years, right? What are a few inflection points that aided your rise in a way? So what could be those experiences? Because people normally tend to avoid risk. They have conformity bias, right? How do you seek out to stand up and stand out?
Very interesting. I think that's a good story to start with. In 1994, May, when I was about to join Godrej in India, I was working for Tarasov Group with 350 people workers for their factory, and ready to leave from Tripura, my hometown, to Mumbai. There was an advertisement to say that they were looking for a 35-year-old startup contract for an MNC company. I said, I'm neither 35 nor any of the experience I have. I'm only 25 at the time. People say that, my friends say that, why not you apply for it? So I went and applied for it. So the interview, finally, to cut the story short, I had an interview. I cleared all that. I could see many people sitting like me, with a nice bald head. Now, which I have. But as an youngster, finally I got it. So in that interview, everything is over. When they asked me what is the salary expectation, I said, this is what offer I can go through. And they gave me more than that. And also they said that I'm giving you a brand new car when you join.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I said, in Tripura, my hometown, at 25, driving my own car, from the company, I got nothing less. Let's be ready to accept. Having accepted on May 20th, 1994, I want to report for the duty. I'm walking around and trying to find the office. I can't find the office.
Wow.
It is a residential area, no board, nothing available. Finally, I found a house, big house, empty room, the 40-watt bulb, the Indian 40-watt bulb, and then the old phone, somebody saying hello. And I thought I got taken for a ride because I resigned from Naples. I said no to Godrej just because I fall in love for a car. And I'm getting to the office, there's no chair, no cabin, nothing.
Wow.
It was empty. And luckily, I could meet in a small cabin that one of the interviewers also sitting there. I was curious, anxious, when I met him. So he said, Venkat, after all the introduction, he said, you are the second employee of the company. We have to build, we have to define and design the cabin and everything else. So to cut the story, that kind of risk of taking at that stage, leaving a big company and joining a company as a second employee in India. At the end, the OLAM Group itself is not heard, it's called changemaker Group.
Right.
And then we designed office and recruited people and grew from there. In 3 years, we had offices all over India, and region ranked to director from financial controller. So the first and foremost is, taking that risk in your belief, that belief. Say that, it's a risk, right? You're joining a company from a well-established system and people, you're very hands-on when you start. But that paid very, very richly in my life. And then from India, I moved to Indonesia. Again, similar story. Indonesia, Vietnam, Indonesia being set up 1 year back from my colleague. Again, we have to put the basics, processes, systems, and building business together. So the fantastic opportunity and experience you get by moving around various countries and traveling across, learning from our business colleagues, that thrill is part of you, right? That means it is making you so perfect. And that is all the journey. And the company also grown from $50-60 million, if you remember, in 1994. Today, a $30 billion company, and I'm extremely privileged and honored to grow it. And again, as an anecdote, just before joining a job, my hobby is to be apply for a job, get an appointment letter, go to my boss, and negotiate for a salary. After joining OLAM, having updated my resume, if you ask me, somebody asked me a one-page resume, I don't have it. Because
Wow.
27 years, the thought itself is not coming to our mind. That's because the beauty of the OLAM culture and values. And my CEO, Group CEO, Sunny, and CEO, earlier CEO, now CEO of Wireframe, Shaker, and all these senior colleagues, created that kind of value base.
Very nice. Very nice. I mean, what I'm hearing is that have that leap of faith, have trust in your capabilities to go ahead and build organizations. And when you build, you don't feel the need to step out as well. Which gives me one more thought, Venkat, which is to go ahead and say, how do you match skill with scale and speed? Right? So it looks like, I mean, we have very competent people, but the fact is leaders are unable to scale nor operate with agility. What advice would you have there, Venkat?
Very good point. So the key thing is, the earlier one, the point also, the key thing is, who is the biggest asset or which is the biggest asset in your life? It is not a car you drive or a bungalow you have. It is you.
Correct.
So how much you can add value, and the add value here I'm talking about not academic qualification. That's the entry point, and become redundant with all the digital we have. The experience learning and experiences by imbibing those values and culture and looking at seniors and people around. You learn from everybody, senior, junior. So the skill set is, when you put on the hot desk, you should know to ask the simple question, why not? You can have a discerning mind,
True.
right? Because today anything can be hired to a consultancy, but the key thing is making the right judgment calls. Then you need to move on. And whenever you learn something, if you're learning like a child, that means you want to go deeper and understand the depth is important. Beautiful. Many times people float in the width. They just float around, say that I've done blah, blah, blah. But whatever you do, you get involved. You go deeper. Then it's part of you. You're not doing it, you're being in it. When you're being in it, automatically the skill will evolve for performing the job. Here I'm talking about skill means it is both soft skills and to the minimum hard skill to the extent of making judgment. Because many of the hard skills, if you want a tax opinion, there will be expert tax opinion you need to be. You don't need to study that tax to become an expert. Right? Similarly, system to implement, use your mind and the business insight to see what will make sense for them as the right skills. Right? Do the right test. And be hands dirty. The sense don't be hands off. You're able to do micro and macro management. This is where I believe things can grow much faster.
Very nice, very nice. I mean, what I'm hearing, Venkat, is to go ahead and say, build the depth of detail, but don't fall prey to what we call the expert's curse, where you want to do everything yourself. Remember, there are experts, leverage them. That's how you will build agility, speed, and all of that. Very nice. And now I'm curious, because you are now a CFO, Venkat, right? And you're also heading up multiple businesses.
I'm a president finance.
You're a president finance. My apologies, right? Now, you are looking at multiple businesses as well, Venkat. Now, the universal leveler for everybody, Venkat, is time. How does a senior leader like you manage your time? We call it ROTI, return on time invested. How do you maximize your ROTI?
Good point. Good point. So the key thing is, you have to have a prioritization and successful ability in believing in your team and delegating. Right? There is a saying, you also manage by success. You have to believe that you don't need to be there and things will happen. So you are there more as a sounding board. You are there as more to guide it. You are there to ensure that the eye is not taken out of the objective. There should be a deadline. When things have to get completed, the target, the deadline, don't forget. But don't get into detailing. You ensure that so long as the project moves forward, that actions need to be done. Wherever need to be course correction need to be done. There you be a sounding board. You ask the right questions and guide it. Things will happen, right? So that in that way, what I'm trying to say is, you don't go with a schedule of that. If I'm managing X number of businesses, this much time I spend. You have to go by, just getting new businesses, how much time you spend as a
mm,
business partner. Vis-a-vis well-established, you only get involved to the extent you need to get involved
mm,
and really believe in your team. Like the organization believes in you. Much
mm,
like when you do that, the same culture and DNA to continue,
mm.
you will see that people can really grow to their creation and delivery.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very nice. I mean, which makes me curious. And thanks for providing these insights, Venkat. One of the things that leaders constantly get challenged about is how do I develop my people to be better than me? That is how leaders get to develop themselves as well, right? So, what advice would you have there, Venkat? How do you develop your team to be better than you?
So first and foremost thing is, belief in you, your belief in you that everybody has been blessed with equal brain or even better than you. And I truly believe my daughter is more intelligent than me. That's the
Definitely.
first humility and humbleness you need to have.
Correct.
Two, to find out that, mistakes are okay. I mean, that's
Mhm.
why in OLAM, one of the ethos also, we start with what things went wrong and learning to correct.
Mm.
Because mistake is the best stepping stone for you to gain a successful experience.
True.
So don't fail to, fail in some situations or your team to fail.
Mm.
If you give them that opportunity, enabling environment for them to fail and then succeed
Mm.
occasionally, it's okay. It's
Mm.
perfectly okay. And one thing which we should do is called walk the talk.
Mm.
You go and tell them that, you need to have exposure. So how much of your exposure beyond
Very good.
socially, because that is what you will bring it back, the networking and how you
Absolutely.
contribute professionally outside. And that is what nurtures them.
Mm.
And you should be a lifelong learner. You can't be in the sit on the laurels of 3 or 4 degrees or a professional qualification you obtain all that.
Mm.
You have to be a continuous learner and asking the right why questions. Very, very important, and that is what we see. And then you feel proud that your team, because that is where the legacy is created. The
Mm.
more you feel that you become redundant,
Mm.
and quite often it happens in the lab,
Right.
that means you grow.
Mm.
You really grow,
Very.
within the organization or outside, both is possible.
Absolutely. No, no, this is very nice because what happens is we get to tend blinkered with the present, correct? That the urgency stops us from focusing on the important, which is all about developing people as well, right? Very nice, very nice. And in fact, I was curious while I was preparing for our conversation, Venkat. I see that you are associated with CFAS, right? And you are the treasurer there as well. And what I hear is that the future belongs to the right. What they mean is the future belongs to people who use their right side of the brain, right? Now, what has been your experience trying to get leaders to operate with a whole brain kind of an approach, Venkat? Otherwise, it's all logic, spreadsheets, PowerPoints, right? All of that. What's been your experience, Venkat?
Fantastic. I think internally, our CEO don't like PowerPoint at all. He says, you can't speak from your heart. And then, you are wasting the time, which I totally agree. See, the reality is, at least in my experience, whether it's CPAS or whether it's my involvement in the grassroots, 15
Mm,
years I've been involved in grassroots. I was a part of the city board for the last 4 years.
mm,
I've been in the MDIS as a learning council member for the last
very
5
good.
years. I'm in a temple committee. The
Mm,
reason I'm giving all this thing is because the more you expose into the other part of the world,
mm,
different cultures, different context and non-profit, profitable operation, the creativity will kick in because you're
mm,
seeing a different kind of age group coming there and it's strictly voluntary organization, nobody employs. But
exactly.
still the voluntary organization is doing exceptionally well. Let's
Mm,
take 3 parts.
mm,
Now, so that is the first part. That means you should expose yourself into that activity.
true.
Second thing is for activity that I'm doing, I mean, some of these things, I mean, I used to tell that if somebody asks you, who are you? I
Mm,
don't talk about my charter accountant or past water qualification. I
true.
believe in what I learned much later, be it NLP, Mindscape, whatever it is, because these are right brain, activating tools which I learned as we go.
Correct.
Or pick up the music. When you listen to music, you play an instrument. Because then what happens is your mind, exactly what you're talking about, creative mind. Right?
Mm,
fully getting activated and the power of unconscious and subconscious mind come into play, right?
Mm,
So the vision and what you set aside for yourself and your company or your
mm.
team, really bears fruit with that ability,
True,
right?
true.
So hence, I totally believe art or interest outside the routine, logical, mechanical job into something, doing hands-on, doing social volunteering, or learning a skill of music or dance, you will be really able to get the mind peace in the sense I'm saying the balanced mind.
Correct.
If you're in a neutral mind, you are able to take the right and wrong decision in a
Right.
much, much better way
Mm,
rather than, just in black and white. You
definitely.
will be much more creative.
Definitely. I mean, that's why they say the future belongs to the right, right? And it's amazing how much of the creative right can inform the logical left, right? Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm also curious about one more thing. I mean, you have started up your career in India, you have now moved to Singapore, you work across different geographies. And what we are all seeing is that we are now no longer our own nationality, we are becoming global, right? Which means there are some cultural competencies that we need to go ahead and develop if we have to work across cultures. What have you learned about getting the best out of different cultures, Venkat? Because you now operate almost globally now.
Yeah, very good. So the earlier statement, I made a statement to say that, truly believe everybody is been blessed with equal abilities
Mm,
or better than you.
mm,
That applicable not only to your same color or
mm,
race, any color.
absolutely.
And you also know that now, when more and more we get talk about right brain, because we believe that the left brain activities can be replaced with machines and artificial intelligence much faster.
Mm,
Whereas, street smartness and on the feet deciding and creative solutions is what matters. If these two are valid, there is also one more saying people are saying that don't waste the time on working on your weaknesses, but
mm,
play to strength.
mm,
The last part is very important. Each people, when you look at it from various cultures, there will be cultural nuances by which you should approach them, but
mm,
everybody's got a strength, fantastic strength.
mm,
So if you are able to identify the strength and operate on it, you will dramatically get output from them empowered.
mm,
But if you don't understand the culture, so let me give a small anecdote here. When
mm,
I moved to Indonesia,
mm,
my first year of Indonesia, I called my chief accountant. She did some mistake in my accounting. I
mm,
was very angry. So I said, because I got some signature from corporate office. So I looked at her and said that, her name is, Miss XYZ. So I
mm,
said that, you can't do this. Because of this, I got it. Next minute, she was in tears and resigned. Then
mm,
I realized in Indonesia, even if you want to say you cannot shout, you can't show finger at them, it has to be in a polite way. Right?
mm,
In an Indian context, we are okay to say, and next time we will be okay to have a coffee.
mm,
So that is the first time I realized that it is not only respecting them, but also how to communicate and And this time
mm.
onward, even if I have the biggest one, I also know how to adjust my tonalities when I speak.
Very
So
nice.
this is a very simple thing, but if you
Mm,
miss it, the relationship is gone.
mm,
Similarly, there's a culture of, when you go for a drinking or lunch or dinner, some etiquettes and manners, behavior.
true.
If you don't understand, you will get things done, but you won't make a lasting relationship.
Mm,
For you to make a lasting relationship, people should have trusted you and lasting relationship. Then they will do anything for you to succeed, the
absolutely.
team. And that's what matters.
Absolutely. And the two, you're absolutely right, Venkat. It's all about leading with empathy and aligning to their strengths as well, right? Very nice. Very nice. One last question, Venkat. And I'm thinking how to phrase this question. Think about it. The last year has been tough for everybody, correct? And people talk a lot about resilience. Correct. What has been your biggest learning in these last 12 months, Venkat? I mean, it's a tough year for a lot of people. We should all be grateful. We are alive. We are well, right? What has been your biggest learning here?
See, before this last year period, because of my own interest, we learned about various corporate methods and all.
Hmm.
And one of them is, being grateful. When you get up in the morning, you're alive and your friends and relatives are alive and many things, right? There's no earthquake or whatever. These kind of minor practices, I was doing it more as a ritual and practice. But this COVID has taught me that the most valuable thing in all this is, the life and death is a one breath away. You breathe in, next minute you're not there.
Exactly.
Many of the people lost their life. The kind of suffering. Many of them lost their job. Many of them doesn't have a roof over their head. Now, when you look at it, the empathy and the feeling of, instead of doing a lip service, you truly feel it here. You feel the
Beautiful.
pain in your heart in that common manner. And that makes you so humble to say that, how much we are grateful to the whatever situation. The moment you realize how much you are grateful for what you have today, you are dealing with people, automatically changes. Whatever you can do a little bit for your own employees. For example, that's again my CEO and he said, as much as possible, I will not tax one person, and nobody lost anything. Not even $1 salary we reduced from anybody. All our 70,000 employees we have direct and indirect. This is all big thing, and anybody will for COVID, we give the best medical care. Because in these times, the kind of things which you have done when they are in the difficulty time, it is going to be much more long term, and this is not what we expect. That's our culture. That is what it changed. So for me, if you ask me, that one connection point to say, you think I'm planning so much, I have a 6-year plan, 10-year plan. Unplanned things come and knock you, and how you don't react but respond to the situation is what will change your outcome for you and for your family.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I mean, respond and not react, right? Which means don't be instinctual, don't be deliberate in how you go ahead and achieve this. I mean, this has been extremely useful, Venkat. I'm glad that you've given us these perspectives. In fact, if I can go ahead and ask you for one last story, right? What is it that you would go ahead and tell as the story that you have heard about leadership that transformed you?
I'll just link two quotes here. One is, 15 years back, we had in Dubai, we had an African leadership, group. So that's the first time I'm able to listen this golden thread, why, how, and what. And you can see the board behind, the round circle. This is why and how. I didn't like the what there. At that time, 15 years back, that's why it's a handwritten, scribbled paper at that time.
Wow.
So now, whenever I look at the leaders around me, I'll talk about the leaders who are inspiring me anytime. Is on the why they stand for. So, because I've been with OLAM for the last 27 years, one of the leaders who really influenced me to the core is my group CEO, Sunny Jordan.
Very nice.
Simple employee from Unilever, moving into a group and co-founding this group, truly believing this value system of our OLAM and what we are really going to do. Over the years, how the purpose is more valuable than the profit, the 3P principle. And we truly believe that how we going to reimagine the agriculture, the journey which is going through, which I've been seeing it 27 years, sometimes nearby, sometimes remote, is hugely fascinating and the kind of energy. And you won't believe many things I follow at a very distance is footsteps.
Is it? Right? Very nice.
And that is what inspiring me and everything, because with all his busy schedule, he's also equally involved in outside, he's contributing to environment and society in a bigger way. And he truly a proponent and propagator for sustainability. And he believes that there should be carbon neutral for this world. So this is fascinating. Similarly, if you talk about the bookish knowledge, which is the Simon Snakes, the why and how beautifully it's only a small story, but it connected a lot with me in terms of look at the why and rather than looking at what you had. You were seeing none of my mails carry my designation. Because there is somebody called car people and non-car people. So your identity is because of a car or non-car. So I stopped using my designation because of that over the years. That is what the inspiration I got.
Beautiful, beautiful. In fact, that start with why has always transformed a lot of leaders, Venkat, right? It's made a big difference, right? Allow me to go ahead and say thank you so much for your time, Venkat. Allow me to say how grateful we are that you have taken the time to provide us these perspectives. right, we would go ahead and look at how some of these can be shared with our audiences. And I think, you would agree with us that we go ahead and serve everybody else so that we can unleash the other person's greatness. That's what we are in. I'm glad to have had this conversation with you as well, Venkat.
I am also exceptionally enjoyed, and in the spirit of, if you have time, another 2 more minutes a day,
Yeah.
because I think it's relevant. And when I say that I've stopped using my designation, I believe in an 8A principle. So I just share that, which is what my signature always. I truly believe in 5 years back, I started using it. Every year I add one eye. That's how it became 8I. I truly believe whatever you do, you should have insight. Inside. The first eye is inside.
Correct.
Right? You can write a 50-page report, but you can put it in after page is very difficult. So what is the insight you gathered on a daily basis? Second, you have to influence people, because you cannot be just creating insight. That insight cannot influence people. That's the second eye. You need to create an influence. Third is you need to involve. You cannot be a consultant sitting on the side. You need to involve. That means hands dirty.
Very nice.
The fourth eye is you have to create an impact. Because if you don't create impact, you cannot, because you have to earn the bread. You have to create, the life is full of creating impact.
Right.
By creating impact, you have to tell people, so you create inspiration. Fifth eye.
Very nice.
The more you inspire, more people act on it, you create institution. There will be institutions which will get formed, and that's how you get that. And then when you create an institution, you need to be inclusive, which is one of the things which you mentioned, that 30% ladies and different nationalities. And the last, take out at least 10 minutes a day to introspect. Take out some time to introspect, to say that I'm going the right direction, who I heard or not heard. That is what will evolve. So this is my 8A principle. Pleasure speaking to you, Venkat. I think you're doing an exceptional job during your life. Extremely happy to meet you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Venkat. I look forward to the opportunity to meet you in person as well.
Great.